Good morning. Let's uplift this world. Let's all work together to uplift each other. Well, I'm not leaving, so come with me. Good morning, my lovely friends, my lovely people of Earth. I hope you have your coffee because I have my ginormous coffee. And coffee's awesome for you. It's so good for you, which is great because I'm obsessed. Anyway, I'd like to read to you. I say this in every video. I'm going to say it quickly. I am not your guru. I'm not some expert here to tell you what you should or shouldn't do with your life. Do what you will. Harm none. But this is what's worked for me to bring me from a terrible place into a beautiful place. That's it. That's my spiel. So I'm reading off my phone my blog post from a while ago. I don't know what day, but I decided to fast. I fasted for a weekend while the moon was in my sun sign, which is something that people say to do if you want to raise the Christ consciousness, which is the Kundalini. It's the same thing. Someday maybe I'll do a video on that whole thing, but I wanted to experiment and try, and it worked amazingly well. So I'm going to read about it. This was my experience on the first day of fasting while the moon was in my sun sign. I was in meditation, and when it ended, I just started laughing uncontrollably. I've never experienced anything like this. Everything seemed so not serious. Everything seemed like a joke, and I finally got the punchline. I laughed for more than 20 minutes straight. And then I was completely overcome with such a beautiful peace and a deep love for everything that I started to cry. I was laying in bed, and I literally just could not stop laughing. I don't even know what I was laughing at. It was like my body was laughing, and I was just going along with it, and it was such joy all over my body. My every cell felt like laughter, and everything was funny. Everything was funny. I just couldn't feel serious about anything. I was like, this is just one big cosmic joke. Life is just one big joke. That's what it felt like. And then that subsided, and I just started to cry with this love and connection that I felt for everything around me. This is all Kundalini stuff. If you look up Kundalini symptoms, one of them is like laughing and crying for no reason. It's like the emotions are being expressed through your body without you doing anything. Like maybe they're not even attached to anything. I was laughing at nothing. There was no reason, and that's kind of what happens. The stuff comes up and it needs to process. For hours afterwards, I felt a clarity about life that I had never known. I was driving with my daughter and her friend, and I felt just so clear about everything. There was no question in my mind about what I should do, what I shouldn't do, what do I want, what do I need to do about this, how do I take care of this. There were no questions, there was no chatter. I was just perfectly clear. This all came from fasting for one day. I ended up fasting for 3 days, which I will tell you is an experience. It was difficult. I am used to eating. I've never fasted before. That was the first time. So by the third day, I was weak, honestly. And I don't know if I did it wrong, but I was like, I didn't want to get out of bed. My body was tired. But mentally and spiritually, I was completely clear, and it was wonderful. The energy really did move more without food in my body. I felt so incredibly blissful and peaceful that my daughter asked me if I was high as I was driving with her and her friend, to which I exploded into hysterical, uncontrollable laughter, and this didn't help my case. She asked me that, and I just thought it was the funniest thing, the funniest question I had ever been asked. And I mean, really, my 16-year-old daughter's asking me if I'm stoned, and I'm just laughing my ass off. And then I was like, oh my god, she probably totally thinks that I am, and I don't do drugs. So, anyway, I felt a deep truth within me, and I wrote down what I could into words in my journal. Some of it was beyond translation into language, but I wanted to share it with you. Maybe it will resonate with you in some way. Here's what I wrote. This is what I wrote in my actual writing journal. If I could stay here in this room for the rest of my life and feel the joy and perfection of the universe flowing through me in these beautiful orgasmic waves of bliss, then I would be complete. I could never move again, and just let this feeling of pure oneness and love overtake me, and my life would have no less meaning than the founders of Google or the great men and women of this world. Everything in my life has only the meaning that I assign to it. My life is the story that I tell. There are no problems, only learnings and growth. Everything that happens in life is just what is. If you choose to see it as something to be fixed, then it's a problem. The truth is that nothing needs to be fixed. The more you try to fix things, the more you make them into a problem. Choose to see the perfection in it. Choose to see the miraculous way that it serves you and leads you to your highest self, and everything in your world will shift. It's all a cosmic play anyway. What story are you telling yourself and others? You can change it or not. It doesn't matter because none of this will work out in the end anyway. I don't know why, but when I thought none of this will work out in the end anyway, that stayed with me for a few days. And I felt so relieved that none of it will work out in the end. I don't know. Let the thought of nothing working out in the end put a smile on your face. You can be free. You can completely relax into life. There's nothing to fear, nothing to strive for, nothing to achieve or prove. For God's sake, there is no struggle. There never was, and there never will be. Your life is yours and yours alone, so give your all in the spirit of play. Just to see what you're capable of. Don't stress about getting anything right. You can't possibly get it wrong. When you love, love deeply and expose your whole heart. You can do this without any fear whatsoever. When you hate, let it go. It serves no one and it robs you of precious time you could spend loving. Is your life so serious that hatred could be useful? Come on, wake up. Share what is within you with joy and with everything you've got in order to uplift this world. Do this not in the spirit of wanting to show yourself or anyone else what you can do. Do it because the world should be uplifted and it can only start with you. Don't be afraid to shine your brightest because it is not about you at all, and it never was. Give and be. You are dust already. You are a ghost, borrowing a body that is your responsibility to care for a time. Thrust into a life that is also your responsibility to care for, but only temporarily. You were born with an expiration date, and any time you spend regretting the past or worrying about a possible future is life wasted. Don't let your ghostly nature discourage you, and certainly don't let it frighten you. This is the most wonderful news. The ghost is perfect and whole and can't be anything but free. You are free, and you are complete. Now go into the world and play because you can. That was what I wrote. And then I said, this changed my life. When I read this and get into a place of remembering this state, I feel such peace and joy. There really is nothing left to achieve. There is nothing to achieve. I can let go of struggle because I am. And that's all. I am. Much love to you.